Nothing to do with this build. Pop onto my Facebook page and you'll figure out what that was about, because I'm working on this thing at the same time and it's just, video for this coming soon. Avoid that kit like the plague, I'll just say that now. But yeah, pop along to my Facebook page. Facebook.com/Helgan35's workshop. Very important, it's 35, not 35, it's a call sign. It's not 35, it's 35, very important. Hopefully I remember to put a thing in here as well. Right then, what was I doing? Managed to get hold of some of these as well the other day. I've got the gold, or goldy colour, because I'm going to be using that on my HOOJ tank that I've been building. I've looked through my showcase video for the size of that thing, it's huge. Well, these things are like a wax. There we go, AK True Metals. So I'm going to be testing these in a minute on an old scrap piece, just to see how they work, whether we can actually use them for dry brushing or whether it's going to be too much of a faff and we'll end up using regular acrylic paints anyway for the chipping and things like that, but more on that later. But whilst all that's drying, because I've got like a day or so now to wait, might as well give these a try, give these a quick review. No model maker should be without a buster, which is a kit that's fallen off a shelf, or it's a cheap and nasty thing in other cases. This particular case, he fell off a shelf and he smashed all his undercarriage and things like that, and I did plan a diorama at some stage in the back of my mind, where this thing had been crashed in the jungle in Vietnam somewhere, and then realised just how big the diorama would be, and I thought, nah, can't be bothered. So, as you can see, he's had a wing repainted so I can test different things, and he's had Tamiya rubber black sprayed onto that wing, which is all scratchy compared to the underside, which is all nice and smooth and glossy. Oh, it's wrong. So with the airbrush we'll spray on some clear. Use the new stuff if you can get hold of it, don't pay for that stuff, they'll charge you a fortune. Somebody got in touch with me a few weeks back, I think I mentioned it in the Scout Trooper video. Somebody got in touch with me and says, hey, I just managed to find some of this for about £8, is that cheap? I said, no, they saw you coming, that's the old stuff, go get the new stuff. You'll find it in Tesco's and Asda and places like that. Have a look online, I think Ocado does it. Ocado. Have a look online, go for the grocery stores rather than Amazon and eBay, because they'll charge you silly money. Go support your local high street. Quick test, make sure it's fine. Just quick varnish, like you've seen me do a million times. If you're new, you're seeing this for the first time, hi, welcome. My name is Tony. I'll be your captain for today. And for the right amount of teeth cake, I'll be whatever you want me to be. No, stop it. So, I have a confession to make. I painted this wing ages ago for doing something, and I can't remember for the life of me. It's me. My memory's shocking. I can't remember why I painted it rubber black to start with, but you know, it's been sat on a shelf for quite a while, at least 3 months, and there's all kinds of dust gathered on it, so I've varnished all it in just to give us a bit of texture as well. And so the gloss on the wing has dried, and we shall, where's that gone? Yeah, for crying out loud. There we go. The exact same techniques we've been doing so far with the dry brushing. All the oil paints, we're going to take a dot on the end of the brush, take most of it back off, like so, and then hopefully this works like the oil paints did, and I can pick out edges. Ooh, that's quite nice. And then go back with a cotton bud to tidy the edge up, like so. Focus. There we go. Ooh, that is quite nice. Let's pick this bit. So with just the lightest touch. That is quite nice. And unfortunately my lighting is picking up all the dust as well at the same time. So let's try the tail. Which I varnished at the same time. That's quite nice. And it is picking up the shine from the lights. Yay! But yeah, I can see that working, so I'm happy enough with that test. And that's aluminium, which might be a little bit too shiny. Oops. Let's try some gunmetal. So this is probably completely against how you're supposed to use these anyway. Ted, who's working on behalf of the models at the moment, is using one of these, I think, for his massive Panzer build. And I strongly urge you to go and have a quick look at that if you haven't done so already. It's an absolutely awesome build. It's the same scale as my HOOJ tank. Mine's the Tiger. That's sadly no longer available. I've had a few questions about that from my Facebook page, and sadly the magazine company who did it, I mean, that kit's what, 5 years old now? Something like that, and it stopped production about 3 years ago. That I can remember. It's an absolutely gorgeous build. It's just really fiddly and faffy, especially them 88 ammunition rounds, 88mm ammunition rounds. Ghastly, it really is. Right. Gunmetal's a better shade. Yeah, that's why I put it down for a while, because the ammunition was just horrible to build. I lost heart with it, and then I started doing other builds, and then I ended up doing this kind of thing. So just very gently, very gently. We'll pick out some of these edges that we went over before. It's just that, it's interfering with the background. And so because these are waxes, they'll take a little bit more abuse than the oils will. Because these are actually a thinner pigment than the oils, by the look of it. Oh, I like that. So it's just picking out the edges that we picked out earlier with the original German grey highlight dry brushing that we did. It's now just emphasising the edges, just that little bit. But these will, from the looks of things, and from what I've seen from what Ted's been doing with his build, these will stay a little bit wetter for longer than the oils. So do be aware of that if you're going to use these. These will take a fair while. These will be along the lines of the gunk wash. They'll take a good 5 days or so to dry off and do the thing. But we're literally just going to pick out all the leading edges, the same way that we did with the German grey highlight. Stay with the direction of flow as much as possible, airflow as much as possible. Just pick out all the raised edges. I can see from my my paper towel there, it's actually staying wet because it is a wax. Don't know why I've done that. That's actually hidden. I think I said that last time I painted it. Yeah, I know. I'm silly. As you can probably see, I've hardly had to recharge the brush. And a little really does go a long way with this stuff. It's gorgeous. So yeah, eventually, I more than likely will get round to finishing off that tiger. There is a lot of work involved with it. I'll probably not do full-on build tutorial video-y type things. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. Anyway, I'll probably not do the full-on build videos like I do with this. I'll probably do highlight videos and time-lapse videos and things like that. If I find something really interesting to point out to you that might help you with your builds for whatever build you're doing, then obviously I'll stop and film it. For the most part it will be update videos, because it's just that much work involved. I'll end up never being able to do anything because I'll be constantly editing videos for that. Just pick out these edges here too. That is gorgeous. Again, not too sure how well the camera's going to pick that out, but the way that jumped to life in front of my eyes as I was doing it, that was just stunning, it really was. Yes, these new metal paints are my favourite thing. So yeah, quick test as I was doing these. You've just seen me use this for the first time in front of you. Get some of that stuff. That's the aluminium. I'm actually using the gunmetal at the moment. Yeah, you need these in your life. You really do need these in your life. So, I shall now stop this clip here and I'll activate the time-lapsey thing. Oh! I'll stop sitting on my foot because my foot's gone completely dead. This is one I really do want you to see. So, just get it done on the end of the brush. Could be working in there, inside the blades themselves, so I'm just going to very gently indeed, just run around. Get the edges in. Yeah, go very slowly, very surely. It starts coming to life in front of you. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's better. At first it looks like you're hardly putting anything on, but eventually it does start jumping out at you. It makes you go, ooh, like that. Gorgeous. I just hit all the edges again around here. And these things do have a slight whiff to them that's quite familiar, but I can't quite nail it down to what that whiff is. It's quite a familiar smell. That's just jumped to life in front of me. Again, I'm not too sure how well the camera's picking that up. But that's just started coming alive. Yep, these are my new favourite things. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Shine on that. That is gorgeous. So for the cannon itself, I decided to go with full gunmetal as I was putting it on. It just came to life again in front of me. So I decided to do a heavy dry brushing on this one rather than just pick the edges out. And it's completely changed how that looks. Again, I'm not too sure how well that's going to pick out on camera, but the shadowing, especially around there in the gun barrel, I don't think I can get close enough. Right there at the breech. It's actually shadowed it like a real gun would be. That is absolutely stunning. You definitely need these AK interactive metals in your arsenal now. Arsenal. Oh, I've run out of words for it. It's that good. Okay, so engine and greeblies are done there now, so I'm going to leave that at least overnight to see how they turn out, and then if need to we'll go over with the aluminium just to pick out the very final, there you are, very final highlight. So what we're going to do now is have a quick play with a couple of edges on the speedbike body itself. It's literally going to be the extreme edges of this, just to indicate that it's had a couple of knocks and dinks. So it's not going to be like I did with the cannon where I go everywhere with it. It's literally going to be extreme edges. We'll blend it across the front points, just a tiny little bit. Like so. There's hardly anything there. You just see the glint here and there. We can do another attempt at that. If we're not happy with it, we'll have another go once everything's assembled. Just gives that a little shine. Ooh, flashy batteries. So, I've had this camera now for, what, let me think, 3 years? Something like that. And I've got 2 spare batteries. The original battery was, and these are what? These are 1000 arm spare batteries. Bigger the arm number, the longer you'll get from your battery in terms of how you use it. So 1000 arms lasts for literally about, what, 2.5 hours of continuous filming like I do. So the reality is, I film a clip, and then I move on to something else, and then I move on to something else. You know, it's not like when I say I'm going away for 10 minutes to do this and that and the other. I'm actually working on other stuff in the background as well. Yeah, the higher the number of armage you have on your batteries, the longer the battery will last for. I've got the 2000 arm batteries. The original battery was, I think it was only a 250, something like that. I'm still on the original SD card that I bought with the camera at the same time. And I used to do a lot of private videos from a friend in Phoenix. It was originally from Stockport. Moved over there a few years back now, and it was our way of keeping in touch instead of using Skype and Facebook and things like that. Simply because of time differences, more than anything. And I used to do video builds for him. I used to keep him abreast of what was going on back here in Manchester. What was going on with the family and what was going on with his ex-wife and their kids and things like that. So it was just basically nothing about like this, and then I'd go off and film something around the area just to take the mickey out of it. That's a bit strange. You're an evil bunch of just do you. Ow! Oh. And things like that. And then when I was working night shifts, I'd take him into work with me and speak to him whilst I was doing my work at 3 o'clock in the morning. Altogether, I've got well over 30 terabytes of information has gone through this SD card. At least 30 terabytes. I've probably done that just in these videos, to be honest. I've probably done more than 30 terabytes. So every now and then, the SD card goes and just gives up completely. It records clips and then stops halfway through, as you probably saw from one of the scout troop videos. The clip's there, it's showing on the timeline as being, I think it was 13 minutes long, possibly longer, and then it literally played about 2 minutes of the clip and just stopped dead. Which is very, very frustrating, as you can imagine. Oh, that is just jumping out. So again, we're going across the extreme highlights. Extreme edges even, just to put things out. Now I know these are going to be hidden, but they're there. So we'll give it some traffic weathering anyway. So yeah, every now and then. That's why I'm going through the batteries so quickly as well now. They're supposed to be 2.5 hours long. The reality is I've been using these batteries now for 3 years. Batteries don't last forever. I think I'm going to have to buy some new ones soon, because I seem to be charging them a hell of a lot more often than I need to. Or I should be, and I'm used to. That makes sense in my head. I do see me charging them more often than should be necessary. So I don't think they're holding their armage anymore. If that's even a word. Let's pick out some of this nose, because this nose will take a fair amount of battering too. Go across that extreme edge, just there. You can probably hear I'm only going one direction. No, stop it. One direction. If I was doing two directions, you'd hear a flick, 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 a lot quicker. You'd be hearing that kind of noise. So I'm literally just dragging across this edge. Let's grab them edges too there. And that one, and that one. Then we'll come with the airflow. Again, move the piece to suit you. Don't dislocate your wrists. So we'll come back with airflow. Just to burnish that edge a little bit. Like so. Just to give it a little bit of shine, and that'll be where it's, you know, cutting through bushes and things like that. Now I know you got the big splitter thing at the front, but you'll still get the flick, and then, you know, it'll hit the splitter at the front and then flick up and catch this leading edge. We'll do some scrapages about there, because it'll hit these things as well. These little venti strake things. And the hardest part of weathering is knowing when to stop. Stop. Don't overwork it, don't overthink it. Tell yourself a story. Like I say, it's going through bushes, there'll be, you know, stuff flicking back and hitting it all the time, which will cause scrapes and rubs and tears and things like that. So we'll just do a quick edge here as well. Just to burnish that. This is actually replicating the old trick of using a 6B pencil or something like that. You know, you shave some pencil lead off, rub your finger in, and then do that. This is giving me the exact same effect. It's absolutely stunning. I do like this stuff. You definitely need this stuff in your arsenal. Just do an edge there because there's a plate there. This stuff is gorgeous. It really is. I'm glad I found this. I'm glad I've bought it. So I bought some gold so I can do the 88mm rounds on my big Tiger. I've had that for quite a while now. I just keep looking at it and going, meh. I'm putting it down, but oh yes, yes, I'm glad I found that stuff now. Okay, so get this front edge on the splitter. Pick on them streaks there. pick out some of these edges. Oh, it's lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. And that should do it. We'll put that to one side. Leave it alone for a few hours, see what it does. See if we need to varnish it. Well, we will need to varnish it to seal it all in. I'll see if it'll be ready for varnishing. I'll use my words properly in a minute. You know, you think after 40 years I'd be able to figure out how to speak English properly. It's not my fault. It's not my. Just stop laughing. It's not my fault. As for clean up of the brush afterwards, that's just add 2 dips into odorless thinners. I'm just going to do a 3rd dip. It seems to work with odorless thinners. I could be wrong. There's not a great deal of information about these things out there at the moment. About these paints. All I know is that it is like a wax. Yeah, coloured wax, especially designed for modelling. Oh, hey, I've got English this time. You can replicate all kinds of metal finishes such as steel, copper, gold, aluminium, etc. Obviously you've got the different shades within the range. That's gunmetal, you've got aluminium, I've got a gold somewhere knocking about. But it doesn't give you any information on how to clean these up. So that's literally, like I say, just add some odorless thinners. Again, AK stuff. Others are available, it just so happens I have that stuff. I've knocked that over quite a few times now. I can't remember which build it was now. It was R2 or my 3PO build. I knocked it flying and it went everywhere. And then I went out and bought some Abteilung odorless thinners. Again, another build. I don't remember which one, but brand new bottle and I knocked it over. So I've got that much left. Yeah. So I now have one for cleaning, one for thinning. Just because. I'll do the same with my where's the other one gone? I'll do the same with my X20A as well. I've got one for thinning down. I've got another one for cleaning. There he is, right in front of me. So that's the one for cleaning the brushes. As mucky as that is, it's absolutely fine, it still works. I wouldn't use it for thinning though, because it's too dirty, it will taint whichever shade you're using. So, a few minutes later, that's the reason why I'm waffling at you. Yeah, seems to be okay. The good test is the back of your hand. There's nothing shiny there, so it seems to have gone with the odorless thinners. There you go. There's something we both didn't know. What, 20 minutes ago? Something like that. These are awesome, and that seems to clean your brushes afterwards. So yeah, you need these. You definitely need these. Go out and buy some. I insist. I insist. This is my fault now. Yeah, we've got Starship Filth that was started off by somebody else, that was picked up by Fox, that was picked up by me. And people are blaming me for their addiction. No, it's not my fault. I'm only emphasising stuff that's gone before me. But this one, no, this one's mine. I'm claiming credit for this. Go out and buy this stuff. You need this stuff. It's like metallic oil paints. You need it.